Alrighty. Unless something has changed, today we are off to Africa.
Can I ask you a few questions?
Yeah, of course.
That head animation though. I found a book.
I found this book in the library. I think it might tell us where Wolfgang went.
Africa? You think Wolfgang went to Africa?
I know he did.
Then I shall make you a plane trip right now, yeah?
Well, I guess so.
Good, good. My poor Wolfgang. You have money for the plane, yeah?
I don't, but Mosley does. What about our estate?
Are you sure the Ritter estate can't pay?
I manage Wolfgang's books, I am quite sure. Have you any money?
Yeah, let's hand it over. Mosley won't mind.
I know, we can use his credit card.
Terrific. I will go make the call. Then, while we wait, breakfast.
Does that mean I can get some coffee now?
Be nice, Gabriel. She's helping you. Day 9. And then the wheel went round and round. I could not find my way. 12 and 3 and turn the key, I heard the madman say. It looks okay now that it's close up, but as it was coming in, it looked very unrealistic.
Wheel within a wheel.
You want I stay here, right? It's a long walk back to the city.
Yeah, sure. Wait here, please. I may be a while, though.
No problem. I could use a nap.
Also, I may or may not come out with at least one dead body. Alright, so let's take a look around.
The Jeep was one of several private taxis trying to pick up business at the airport. The driver knew exactly where the Snake Mound was located, and his rates were very cheap.
I think reading those books, most people know where it's located, but they avoid it out of superstition.
I'm not leaving until I've got what I came for.
The Jeep driver has settled into his seat for a nap.
Can we wake him up?
The Jeep driver can do nothing more for Gabriel at the moment.
That's a no.
The Snake Mound consists of an outer ring and an inner ring. 2 snakes eat in their tails.
And Ouroboros.
The morning sky is still thick with mist.
There you are, you bastard.
It looks kind of spoopy.
The mound has stood here for centuries. Gabriel can't affect it so easily.
Anything else? The hill.
Gabriel's on a rise overlooking an ancient snake mound in the People's Republic of Benin. If he's correct, this is the tribal homeland of Tetelo's people.
Alright, so let's go inside. We can hear the drums again. The same drums that we heard outside the conclave. And now they've stopped. Okay, so I do have my notes in front of me today. I believe this is room 6, and I originally labelled it as room 10. I don't know if that's the 10th tile or not, or something different, but let's take a look around first.
Vines, some as thick as Gabriel's wrist, hang from the damp earthen ceiling.
Is anybody here?
There is no answer.
Is anybody here?
There is no answer. That mummy doesn't appear to be capable of speech.
Unlike others in here.
The vines are thick and tough. Taking them down wouldn't be easy. Although he has a playful urge to swing on those vines, Gabriel would feel a bit childish doing so without good reason.
I'm still mad about that. Also mad about the torch.
Torches light the interior of the mound. Either they burn perpetually, or someone recently lit them.
That's a very good observation. And I know magic and voodoo is a thing, but it's always something that irks me in video games where you go into an underground cavern or something, and you see lit candles and lit torches everywhere. It's like, who is maintaining this stuff? Who is doing it?
Gabriel could extinguish the torches, but it would get very dark in here.
Alright, so there's nothing about grabbing the torches today.
Is anybody here?
There is no answer.
That makes me feel a little less triggered.
That mummy does. Mummy-like figures in contorted poses appear to be the only residents here. Gabriel wonders, was this a burial mound, or does their presence serve some ritualistic purpose?
Maybe they're guards.
Gabriel would rather not mess with that mummy.
Can I kill the mummy already?
That doesn't work that way.
No, in the original, we heard the mummy is already dead.
On the floor is an etched stone.
Well, let's grab it then.
This stone looks interesting.
It looks much more detailed than the original.
The stone is etched with a peculiar snake design.
And it says right there, 10 snake tile.
There doesn't seem to be any writing on the stone, unless the snakes themselves are a code of some sort.
They kind of look like tadpoles, just saying. What else do we have?
The walls bear ancient paintings, the handiwork of the sun worshippers, no doubt.
Is anybody here?
There is.
We have a slot.
In the center of the wall painting is a square sunken area. Holes about the size of a quarter appear in the wall there.
And I can plug this in, but I'm not going to yet because I suspect the puzzle is going to be the same.
Is anybody here?
There is no. In the center of the wall painting is a square.
Same thing. Alright, let's go around. If it's the same, there'll be a door here.
From off in the mound echoes a sound like the scuffle of a shoe.
That did not sound like a shoe. This here is a door.
An elaborate mural with a masked design has been carved into the wall in this room.
I mean, the game's identifying it as a mural, and the first game did the same thing as well, or the original rather, but that clearly is the outline of a door. We're going to get inside there unless they've changed something.
Is anybody here?
There is mummy-like figure. Gabriel wonders.
That's number 7.
It's stuck.
It's stuck, which means that's the same as the original, okay? I may as well grab those two. The one below us looks like it's the 5 snake tile. And I'm not sure what I just picked up. So, if it's the same as the OG, this is room 8.
From off in the mound echoes a sound like the scuffle of a shoe.
Just looking at my notes, yep, the rod should be in here. And it is. I should have looked at it first, I apologise.
It's shaped a little like a snake.
This is room number 9. The tile I've picked up may be the 6th tile. It is.
The long rod is shaped like a snake. The head of the rod is the snake's angled triangular head.
And I cannot interact with it, unlike those other ones. So, room 10. That, I believe, is going to be tile number 3.
From off in the mound echoes a sound like the scuffle of a shoe.
Room 11, I don't know what this is. I can barely see a mummy there. There's a mummy hiding behind the HUD. And if this is the same as the OG, there's going to be 12 on the right, and we can't remove it.
It's stuck.
I can already see it's 12. 4 sets of 3. They look like tadpoles. Okay, so this hasn't changed at all.
The walls bear ancient paint.
And I haven't seen anything new running through these rooms either.
Gabriel has the creeping sensation that he's being watched.
If only we could determine that for certain. Do we have the 1 tile? We do not. I need to come back here. That clearly is the 4 tile. Let's plug in number 2 there.
It fits.
Gabriel has the creeping sensation that he's being watched.
By whom? Okay, this is room number 3. And I believe this is the one where we need to stick the rod. Although I'd love to test it out right now very quickly and see if anything happens. I don't think it will, to be very clear.
The rod fits into the hole in the stone. Nothing happens.
Basically what I was expecting. Okay, this here is room 4.
Gabriel has the creeping sensation that he's being watched.
I think he is. That has to be tile number 1. It can't be anything else. I wish there was something different on these paintings that we could look at, but no, it's all about worshipping the sun gods. Not that. And now we're back to the start. So the way you determine that is, you learn that 7 and 12 are in fixed positions, and then you just go around here and place the tiles in the correct order. It's not a difficult puzzle, it's just tedious. This here is room 7, so the next one is 8.
A shadow flickers in the corner of Gabriel's eye.
I really don't understand the day 9 text. 12 and 3 and turn the key. 12 rooms, 3rd tile. It's a bit of a stretch if you ask me.
From off in the mound echoes a sound like the scuffle of a shoe.
I could totally understand if it just said push it into 3 or something, but I don't know. To say 12 and 3 in that context implies that a 12 has more meaning other than just 12 rooms. 12 here is fixed, which means this here is the last tile, room number 1. And we should get points for this. Lovely. Let's go to room 3. I could go to each one of these rooms and try to serpent
Gabriel
rod,
has the creeping sensation that he's being watched.
but honestly, I don't think you want to see that again. Let's make a save. Stick tab A into slot B. And hope for the best.
From somewhere off in the mound, Gabriel hears a soft click, then a rumble.
Uh-oh. I have a feeling that did something.
Cool. How you doing?
The mummy-like bodies have animated, and they appear intent on one thing.
Oh! Holy shit!
I really don't want to be dead. Can we try that again?
I was actually expecting the original to be more gruesome. That doing it in a more pixelated fashion is a little bit more disturbing in that you need to use your imagination to determine what happened. But no, that was horrific. Holy shit. Gabriel just had his heart ripped out. And then the mummy started eating it. And we didn't actually have enough time to listen to the narrator. Not that. That was terrible. Holy crap.
Uh-oh. I have a feeling.
So I've got no control here. I might just make a save here because I want to do some experimentation with these dudes. Okay, I'm pushing F5 and nothing's happening. Previous room, go. I feel like I've chosen poorly.
That mummy doesn't appear to be capable of speech.
What about one of the other two? I don't have time to check.
Gabriel doesn't need to get any closer to that mummy.
I don't suppose I can teleport? Also, my dagger.
The dagger won't work on the mummies. They're already dead.
Am I dead? No, you stopped. Thank you for stopping. I appreciate it.
Gabriel doesn't have enough momentum to move that guard on his own.
Okay, room number 4. Room number 5 can probably just juke around you. And then we've got room 6. I'm still salty about this.
I can't believe I'm doing this. Whoa!
Yeah, no.
Oh, shit.
Gabriel Knight, I presume.
Uncle Wolfgang.
In person? Now go to it, boy! I can't hold these creatures for very long, and there are more on the way.
Go to what?
The secret panel, boy. These creatures are only alive while it's open. Close it, Gabriel, and hurry!
I've got to check to see what happens if we plug it into this slot here and not that one.
It's too late for that now. The stones can't be deactivated that way.
Do we want to see Wolfgang die? I think we have to see his heart get ripped out at least once. They don't rip his heart out, they just strangle him and go for the jugular.
I really don't want to be dead. Can we try that again?
Yeah, okay, Gabriel. It's unfortunate you can't save during that sequence because there's a lot more stuff I'd like to do, but it's going to take too long. One thing I do want to comment on though is that Wolfgang starts with the torch this time. In the OG, he took one of the torches down and used it. And the criticism that I had of that was that we tried taking the torches down, and the narrator said, no, Gabriel does not have time to do that. But Wolfgang managed it just fine. This time though, he's equipped with his own torch, which makes a lot more sense. That is good change.
I can't believe I'm doing this.
Yeah, I think due to the way the remake is structured, if I was asked to figure out that puzzle in the remake for the first time, using Divine, I think I would have succeeded pretty quickly.
Go to us.
In the OG, however, no chance.
I think I found something.
Very good, Gabriel. Now stand back.
That was much more abrupt, holy crap.
Wow. The inner wheel.
Yes, wheel within a wheel.
Are you okay? You don't look so hot.
I'm fine, Gabriel. The wheel, you dreamt it?
Yes, and you?
Yes. I must congratulate you on the Three Snakes connection. I had missed it. You will make a wonderful Schottenjäger.
Who, me?
Yes, it's a long path, my boy. I myself have still the last of my 3 quests to meet. But let's see what is here. You have found the heart of the apple, but it might be poisoned still.
Once again, now that the threat has passed, I feel this music is woefully inappropriate. We're inside the inner wheel.
I'm not opening that secret passage door again until I'm ready to leave the Snake Mound.
A mummy lies on the floor, apparently having fallen inanimate where it stood when the secret passageway door closed. Gabriel has no reason to do that at the moment.
Keywords at the moment.
Torches light the inner wheel.
Again, who's maintaining the torches?
This is the inner wheel of the Snake Mound. Though similar in appearance to the outer wheel, there's a sense of evil sanctity and secrecy about this room that is very different indeed.
I'm trying to teleport and I cannot.
Thick vines hang from the ceiling in the inner wheel.
Interesting movement, Gabriel.
Look at that table.
Yes, it is very old. There is a story being told through the carvings on the side.
Can you make it out?
A tribesman discovers a snake mound hidden in the jungle. He manages, after much time, to find the secret entrance to the inner wheel. In this room, he bows down to a small idol of some sort. The thing is radiating, like a sun. That explains the source of the Geddes' tribal power. They found this mound and the idol in it. Where the idol came from originally is hard to say, but it is definitely older than the Geddes'. The idol was probably once kept in this table, but they would have it with them now. It must be destroyed.
I assume the idol belongs to an Egyptian goddess or god or something like that. Gabriel walked through that table though. Oh, what are these animations? Okay, now I can teleport. Do that again, Gabriel. Oh, this is not good. This table very clearly has mystical properties. Okay, now he's walking around us, but I definitely walked through it twice, and Gabriel... Okay, make that 3 times, never mind. I'll stop trying to bug the game now, and have a chat to Wolfgang.
Uncle Wolfgang looks frail and shaken, but determined to make a good impression for Gabriel.
Can we talk?
Can we talk?
We probably have a little time here. Yes, all right.
You look much older than I was expecting, dude.
What can you tell me about Shotjägers?
We have not the time to discuss that here. You have started the path. I can see it in your eyes. You must trust yourself and be true to your inner voice. The good voice, Gabriel. You'll know it when you hear it.
Tell me about yourself.
This is not the time nor the place, Gabriel. I am sorry, but I assure you, my life has not been all that instructive.
But you told me over the phone that we need to catch up and we need to have a chat. And now you're telling me nothing.
Is there anything else you can tell me about the talisman?
The most important thing about the talisman is that it be once again in the hands of the Schottenjägers.
We've heard that.
Is there anything else you can tell me about Tetelo?
I can feel her presence here. I wouldn't be surprised if she knew we were violating her sanctum.
Do you think Tetelo's remains are here?
I have a feeling that they are, Gabriel.
It's nice to finally have someone around who knows what the hell's going on.
I know, my boy. I know.
That's it. Is there anything I can show you before we start investigating this table?
Does this mean anything to you?
Yes, it is a book from my library. With your information, it helped me locate the snake mound.
Nice.
Does this mean anything to you?
No, Gabriel.
What about this key? Did you leave it behind with Gerda?
Does this mean anything to you?
Of course. It is the key to my library.
I wish you would say whether you left it with Gerda or not.
Does this mean anything to you?
It is a Ritter dagger. You did well to take it, Gabriel. It belongs to you now.
Along with everything else in Schloss Ritter.
Does this mean anything to you?
Of course. It is an old photograph of your grandfather Heinz, myself, and our father.
And I guess now's not the time to talk about family history, so we know that our father's passed away, but we don't know the circumstances.
Does this mean anything to you?
No, Gabriel.
Anything else here that he would find interesting? Maybe that?
Does this mean anything to you?
No, Gabriel.
He doesn't seem interested in that.
That's fair.
Does this mean anything to you?
That is Gunther Ritter's journal. Read it carefully, Gabriel. It may help you make sense of all this.
Emphasis on the may.
Does this mean anything to you?
No, Gabriel.
We mentioned the rudder code.
Does this mean anything to you?
No, Gabriel.
I think that's all we're getting here. What about these weird crosses?
Does this mean anything to you?
No, Gabriel.
No. Alright, so I've delayed this long enough. Let's take a look around.
The inner wheel is decorated with mask murals similar to the one that hid the secret passageway door.
We have a trough, a lid, and a table. And some bars.
On the wall is a rack containing 2 long iron bars.
What's that trough for?
I saw that. This is undoubtedly a sacrificial table. That trough is for a human heart.
That's sick.
It is.
What's that? That's...
The table's lid fits heavily on the base. At the seam, there are 2 large holes on either side. On top of the lid is a trough.
Holes here and here, and 2 more on the far side that we can't see.
What was the story on this table again?
A tribesman discovers a snake mound hidden in the jungle. He manages, after much time, to find the secret entrance to the inner realm. In this room, he bows down to a small idol of some sort. The thing is radiating, like a sun. That explains the source of the Geddes' tribal power. They found this mound and the idol in it. Where the idol came from originally is hard to say, but it is definitely older than the Geddes.
You okay, Wolfgang? Sure thing. It must be destroyed. We get the idea. Okay, let's try... Can I interact with that? Gabriel, please.
Shall we try this lid?
I suppose it wouldn't hurt.
So that was interact with table. I assume interact with lid does the same thing.
Sorry, I'm not... more help, Gabriel. I don't think it would open so easily, though. Very 10 strong men.
Yeah, your back looks like mine, dude. How about these bars?
On the wall is a rack containing 2 long iron bars.
What about these iron bars?
Good idea. Let me help you.
Once again, they're doing the animation of him moving back to the idol location on the left-hand side. It's very odd. This is good animation, though.
Perhaps these holes. There.
Let's get the other one while we're here.
That single bar doesn't look like it will give much leverage.
Let's get the other one.
Any last words?
Can we talk?
We probably have a little time here. Yes, all right.
Nothing. Alright, let's do this.
Let's try to lift this top.
It looks so heavy.
I know it's in there.
Yes, it is in there. Oh, I've not felt this powerful since, well, ever.
Why won't the damn lid come off?
It is a sacrificial table. It can probably only be triggered by the proper use of that trough there. With a heart.
Oh, great. Where are we gonna get a heart?
Gabriel, you must take the talisman and be Schottenjäger. You performed the ritual and dreamt of the dragon, no?
We did.
Yes, I did, but you're the current Schottenjäger. I only did that because...
Because you were driven to it. I have done nothing with this title for many years. Ah, even in my prime, I had few cases. No, if my life had a purpose, it was to bring you to this point.
But I have no idea what I'm doing.
It's not a science, Gabriel. It is instinct. And you have it in your blood. Trust it. The castle is yours now. It has many documents and records, which will help you in the future.
Well, thanks for the confidence, but what about this table?
I want you to go into the next room and get the heart from that dead creature on the floor.
What next room?
Will that work? Doesn't it need to be fresh?
Let us try. Perhaps there's some of the old Ritter magic left. Go on.
Old man, what next room? There is no other room connected here other than maybe this secret passage, which we do not want to go down. Again, you mentioned 3 quests. I would love to know what they are. I'm just going to back a save in case something terrible happens. But you might want to close your eyes, kids.
A mummy lies on the floor, apparently having fallen inanimate where it stood when the secret passageway door closed.
It kind of surprises me they didn't update that dialogue to just say, go to that mummy over there.
Gabriel can't get the mummy's heart with that.
Alright, let's get his heart.
Great. My first job was a Schottenjäger, cutting up dead monsters. Wolfgang! No!
Jesus.
No!
The talisman.
Titolo, you're gonna pay for this, you bitch!
What's he holding in his left hand there? It didn't look like the dagger.
Why did he go to Africa, Gerda? No, it's okay. I'm just a little anxious. No, they haven't. I just need to talk to Gabriel.
Hello, Tesselo. Day 10. Deep in the earth, I faced a fight that I could never win. The blameless and the base destroyed, and all that might have been. By Gabriel Knight.
After arranging for the shipment of Wolfgang's body back to Rittersburg, Gabriel returns to Norlands. He carries with him the Ritter talisman. He has not heard from Grace for over 24 hours, and he could not reach Malia by phone. And although he has some idea of what he is coming home to attempt, he still has no clue where to attempt it. Or does he?
I mean, it's very obvious looking at that. It was obvious in the OG, and it's even more obvious this time.
Grace, I'm home. Grace? Oh no. Grace!
That's a change. In the OG, we land at the airport and we can go anywhere. In the remake, we come straight here. The painting's back.
Daddy's painting. Gracie must have bought it back from Bruna herself.
You see, Gabriel, she cares.
Nope. No safe full of money back there.
Alright, so let's read the paper.
Today's newspaper is on the counter.
I don't know where that came from, given that, you know, Grace wasn't here this morning.
Times dated June 28, 1993. The Weather Service is baffled by the series of bizarre storms that rocked the South yesterday. 20 died and close to 100 were injured. The storms only accentuate the bad luck that seems to have gripped the South. The crime rate for the past 3 days has peaked to unprecedented levels, and there has been 50 reports of food poisoning in Narlands alone. In other words, keep your heads down, folks, and pray that August will return us to sanity. Warily, Gabriel reads his horoscope for the day. Gird thyself with mercy, arm thyself with righteousness. The final hour awaits.
There's a school teacher somewhere who's damn confused.
Indeed. The best part about this newspaper article is that I don't need to read this because what the narrator said is one-to-one with the text here. Awesome. Not doing that today. Chair's been knocked over. Symbolism.
There's a note on the desk.
Let's have a read.
The note is from Malia. It says,
Gabriel, I hope you survive long enough to get this. Titolo knows you have the talisman. Your life is worth nothing, my love. I fight to save you, but she controls things far more than I. She has taken Grace. Return the talisman and leave Nolans forever. If you don't, I can't help you. Please. I can't bear to see you die. Please believe me. I love you. Malia.
Who's there? I have the talisman.
Malia?
Yeah? Good for you. I got a headache.
You! Don't come near me, you're dead!
Huh? Oh, that was you at the tomb? You should have said something.
You mean you weren't dead, you son of a bitch?
Do I look dead? No, wait, don't answer that. I was searching the tomb. When I heard someone coming, I broke the light and got in the drawer. I'm sorry I brained you, but I thought you were one of them.
Christ, you about killed me.
Hey, I said I was sorry. Besides, I owed you one for stealing my badge. If it makes you feel any better, I lost my wallet that day.
Your wallet? Oh, I guess you're right. We are even.
Like I said. Anyway, we shouldn't stand out here and gab. Someone on the street might see us. Let's go in back and talk.
How did you lock the drawer, though? I had a hell of a time trying to open that drawer. And if I hadn't, you probably would have suffocated in there.
Okay, now let's talk.
Right, first things first. Do you want this back? I don't have the option to give it back. What about this? No.
There's no time for that. Grace is missing.
Narrator, please. The talisman.
Gabriel has in his possession the Ritter family talisman. He'll never forget that it was regained only through Wolfgang's blood.
I feel that's underselling it. Like, we used our blood in the ritual to become a Schattenjäger. He used his blood by ripping his fucking heart out.
Gabriel has in his possession the Ritter family talisman.
We heard that. Pretty cool. Can I show you anything, Mosley? I don't think so.
Mosley looks nervous and tired.
Don't blame him. Alright, let's have a chat.
Alright, let's talk.
Most of the subjects have been removed as well. The credit card. How about we start with that?
By the way, I found your wallet. And your credit card.
Hey, thanks. You didn't put anything on this, did you?
Who? Me?
The debt collectors will be around in 3 days, sir.
What can you tell me about voodoo?
Well, you're the big expert now, not me. This stuff is way beyond anything I was looking into at the beginning of this case.
What do you know about the voodoo murders?
Well, you and I know who did them, don't we? But we got to prove it to somebody who'll listen.
Do you know anything about a secret voodoo houndfall?
Do you know where it is?
I have an idea.
Great. Let's talk about it when we make our plan.
Music?
I'm not sure we've quite got it right, Knight.
We don't. I want the music back, though.
Tell me about yourself.
I'm scared shitless. That's all you need to know.
You know, mostly.
Don't even start with me, Knight. I've been through too much for you lately.
Yeah, you're right. Sorry.
Yeah, he's risking his ass here.
What should we do about Grace?
Them voodoo people have taken her, the goddamn bastards. We have to find her and save her, and we can't count on the police department for any help.
They're all brainwashed, apparently.
So, fill me in on what you've been doing for the past 5 days.
I've been getting smart, that's what. They got me running, I'll admit, but the day a bunch of drum-banging, mumbo-jumbo chanting magicians can catch old Lightfoot Mosley is the day I die.
Can't argue with that logic.
Now these guys have it wired, I tell ya. From the mayor to a couple of major judges, right down to the beat cops. The Gettys are untouchable from that angle. But once I really started digging, it was like I could see clearly. These guys are into everything that happens in this city. And most people are scared shitless of them, or they don't know about them at all.
Ignorance is bliss.
Let me fill you in on what I've learned in the past 5 days.
Okay, have at it.
Well, Malia Getty is the head of the cartel. Dr. John is her right-hand man.
I'll learn that much. You sure know how to pick 'em, Knight.
She's not really responsible, though. Because during these ceremonies, she's ridden by the spirit of her ancestor, Tetelo.
You don't say.
It's true. Anyway, I have something, a talisman, that I can use against them. It will help, but they probably still have a power source somewhere in their hound fall. Also, this whole thing kind of ties in with my nightmares, see, and my family history. My family does this shadow hunting thing, and about 300 years ago...
Look, don't confuse me, okay? You worry about all that metaphysical stuff, and I'll just try to catch the bad guys.
Yeah, you'd never believe me anyway.
Have we actually told him about our nightmares at all? As a close friend, I'm guessing so, but I don't believe we've had that conversation with him in-game. Alright, so let's make our plan.
Let's make a plan. What do you think we should do?
We need to find the headquarters of the Getty cartel, rescue Grace, and dig up some concrete evidence so that I can take this straight to the FBI.
Sounds easy.
Uh-huh. Do you have any idea where their headquarters might be?
Perhaps.
Well, you do seem to have a knack for sniffing out this voodoo stuff. Why don't you see if you can locate it for sure? Meanwhile, I got some things I gotta do. I'll meet you there later.
How will you find it?
Damn, that's right. If I only had the tracker from my office.
I stole it.
I have it.
Really? Good going. You give it to me and leave a signal device at the entrance to the headquarters.
All right.
What happened to the other signal device? Did they destroy it perhaps once they found us? Because we should be able to track it down, surely.
What was that plan again?
Jeez. You're gonna go locate the headquarters. I'm gonna go get some supplies. You're gonna signal me when you found the headquarters. I'll meet you there. We go inside, find Grace, collect some evidence, and get out of there.
Oh yeah, right.
And no one will die.
Here's the tracker.
Great. Don't forget to leave the signal device near the entrance to the Hound Fort. And be careful.
You too.
I wish that music played while we were having that conversation. Just for some background noise. Right, so let me take a quick look around the map. I don't think there's anything to do though, other than go to the Cathedral and infiltrate the Hound Fort. There's no reason to look back like that, Gabriel. She's not there.
Posted on the door of the museum.
We've seen that.
The Dixieland drugstore is locked and barred tight.
That's new.
There's no answer. Perhaps Casino got even more paranoid than usual and decided to get out of town.
That's not new, but you didn't see that on the recording.
A sign on the front door of Magenta's home reads,
That's old.
I'm not going back in there.
That's old. I don't think anything would have changed here or at the cemetery. Drummers outside.
Could I ask you a few questions?
Sure. I'm not too busy at the moment.
Nothing here. We have different map music and it's freaking me out. The tomb is clean. I'll come back for you in a moment to Saints. This place is still open, or they haven't fixed the switch. It's been 3 days at least.
the plate is in locked position. There's a keyhole on the plate, but Gabriel can't operate that without a key.
Oh. I think I'm approaching the point of the game where it's lacking a bit of polish. No, that thing is well and truly open. There's nothing in our tomb. Like no one's desecrated it? No, nothing. I can't imagine there's any reason to go to any places here, but let's confirm.
No one answers Gran's front door, but a note sticking from the mail slot bears Gabriel's name. The note is from Gran and says that she's taken a short trip out of town on Grace's advice. Good old Grace.
She absolutely has our best interests at heart. We give each other a lot of shit, but she means well.
Ms. Getty is unavailable, Mr. Knight.
Alright. There'll be nothing at the university.
It's time to stay in Nolans and face the music.
Love that reference. Yeah, there's no reason to come here or to the bayou. Other than to listen to the music again. Alright. Can I use the rudder book one last time here, please? No.
It's one of the rather...
You know...
The drum...
It's really cool that in the OG, we could use the book multiple times and get different messages. We had no message, we had warn, we had conclave, and then on day 10, right now, we also had call conclave Houndfall. I'm kind of surprised they removed that.
Someone is in that confessional. Gabriel will have to wait.
Right, but what about this confessional? Anyone here?
The panel behind the mesh window moves from the other side.
Hello?
There is no one there to hear Gabriel's wicked confessions anymore.
One day Gabriel will get to 43.
There's a knothole about the size of a quarter in the wood paneling on that wall.
The same size as what we saw in the mound.
The knothole is part of the paneling. The knothole doesn't seem to operate that way.
Alright, so let's stick tab A into slot C.
Something about this knothole looks familiar. It's moving. I knew it.
The priest in the confessional has to be in on this. There's no way you wouldn't know. Oh, that animation. The way Gabriel bobbed up and down like that. Oh boy. So if I walk out of here, is that it? Am I done?
Gabriel wonders if Mosley will have everything he needs to follow the trail.
He doesn't, but we don't get a choice at that point. We go out here.
The elevator stops at a room underneath the cathedral.
Express elevator to hell.
This place looks too good to be hell.
By the elevator is a keypad.
Okay, we can go back inside. And I guess if we use the knothole again, that will send us up. Alright, let me just load that. And we need to drop the tracker here.
Alright, Mosley. There's your signal.
And we also need to drop this.
Gabriel puts the snake rod under the bench for Mosley.
Hopefully he's smart enough to stick it into that hole.
I think I've got everything I need. Might as well see it through.
The elevator stops at a room underneath.
Let's take a look around.
Funny. This side of the elevator doesn't look like the entrance to a confessional.
It looks much more high-tech than that.
The elevator opens out onto a small lobby-like room.
And look up there, we can actually see 6 snakes this time.
That piece of art on the wall looks like something the Gettys had transplanted from Africa. Gabriel won't solve anything by messing around with the Hound for art.
Alright, I think we'll call it here. Next time will probably be the last video, unless I've changed a lot of things. I've got my notes in front of me. I know the contents of the rooms beyond here. Let's get this done.